The playoffs are upon us. And they are the most brand new, weird and evil playoffs I think we could ever see. We finally see people such as Willis Dick fit in your mouth. In the 2 seed. Touched the fence. Said that he'd actually make the playoffs. Didn't look like he was gonna in the beginning of the year. And then rumbled on back to score 99.8 points to beat the worst team in the league to make the playoffs. I have Utters Greg. Another solid showing to get that 1 seed. Token minority winning by 0.2 points. Crazy says, fuck David Johnson. I say if you started David Johnson, you'd be in the playoffs right now. Maybe fuck David Johnson's fantasy coach, buddy. Fully expect a rant on that one. Doot coming out with the victory. Big victory, in fact. High score of the week victory. And then the bad doctor beating me, which isn't too hard. And I really did hold former champion Hide Yo Chubb fate in my hand. I was sitting there like, I really could start the likes of Jalen Samuels and see if maybe he'll score me 10 points, even though I know they hate him on Pittsburgh. I could start Tyrell Williams in the flex, knowing that Oakland is on their worst run of the season. I could start Jimmy Graham in the flex. I could start Sony Michel in the flex, but no. I needed to scare everybody. I needed to give Chubb hope. And I needed to let everybody know I can coach a fantasy football team. Even though this is my worst one. It's okay. It's my league. I win because it's my league. I lose because I lost. Lost my ass. Lost all of my ass. I started Russell Gage. And although it was garbage points, it was worth it. Because he scored me 16.2. Where I didn't show up, Baby Chark. Baby Chark's top 10 receiver on the year. DJ Chark Jr. Didn't show up for me the past 2 weeks. Basically, I couldn't knock anybody out because my team's just not showing up. So I traded. I wavered. I did all the things to try to get me to a better place in the season. And didn't work out for old MFC. That said, Bad Doctor beats me, which knocks out the Chubb, which we will see a new champion unless she wins. And then we'll see an old champion. And by the way, I understand. I missed week 10, 11, 12, and 13. I was out of town. There was family gatherings, all this stuff. It's just hard to keep up with this year. I promise I'll do better next year. As I wipe my eyes in sleepiness. Because I've had to do all these in the morning instead of at night, which is when I like doing them, which is when I'm probably more funny, if I am funny at all. So, my predictions. Let's look at the projected playoff bracket. Oh, I could talk about who won and who lost. I'm not going to do that. Because we know who won and who lost because now people are in the playoffs. So we can talk about the consolation bracket as well. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is we still haven't come up with exactly what happens to second to last place or what if there is any additional punishment for last place. I don't know. We can think about it. First up, Oops All Sleepers in round 1 versus I have Utters Greg. That is the 8 seed versus the 1 seed. Oops All Sleepers really limped his way into this one, folks. Let's see what even projected scores are going to be. Yeah, projected score on this one with no bye weeks. We have 113 for Oops All Sleepers and 143 for I have Utters Greg. Setting him up for a possible round 2 showing. Now, listen. Oops All Sleepers has Patrick Mahomes, has Saquon Barkley, right? Jarvis Landry, a little bit of a resurgence. Dallas Goedert, the other tight end on Philadelphia, not doing poorly. Keenan Allen, Now, on paper, this team looks really good. But if we look at player rankings, Saquon Barkley's the 17 on the ESPN so far. He's probably on the year a different ranking than that, and much less. Nyheim Hines, the 44. Well, that's because Marlon Mack. Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson, pain in my ass as well, but people chanting MVP. Jarvis Landry, Cleveland was supposed to be dope. Probably a good pickup, and here we are. Dallas Goedert, there's 2 tight ends on a really bad team. Keenan Allen, what the fuck, Keenan Allen? Right? Like, well, what the fuck, Phillip Rivers? He's about to retire or get benched like Eli Manning, and then they can retire together and start like a car company or like a surf shop. Pasty Eli Manning and Pasty Phillip Rivers surf shop. Just like doughy. Jaguars D and Josh Lambo, scree. On the other side, we have the Dak Prescott, pretty consistently good this year. Christian McCaffrey is a video game. Leonard Fournette gets carry after carry after carry after carry. So he's going to make on the ground points if he doesn't make touchdown points. Kenny Galladay, not bad considering he's on his 3rd quarterback. Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones out. That's looking much better. Zach Ertz, the other Philadelphia tight end. Kenyon Drake, what's going to happen there? That's what I wonder. David Johnson, right? Fuck David Johnson. Looking at that, Oops All Sleepers team is really boom or bust. Like, he really needs his team to have the up weeks instead of the down weeks. If they have the down weeks, their floor is way too low. And with that, I have to logically call Cal the winner of this matchup at 10-3 in the first place seed, and he'll be moving on to round 2. The Bad Doctor versus Duke. So the Bad Doctor has Carson Wentz, played Carson Wentz against Miami. Philadelphia's got a nice schedule. New York Giants are awful. Carson Wentz should be good, but once again, Carson Wentz has showed us that he is awful. So what are you going to do? Chris Carson, he's in the same boat. He fumbles a lot, and then he scores lots of points on the ground, depending on if he can hold on to the football. So that's kind of scary as well. And they played the Rams. Austin Eckler. They should have just never brought Melvin Gordon back. Straight truth from the MFC's mouth. Melvin Gordon poisoned that team and really fucked over their chances for the rest of the year. Austin Eckler looks great every time he touches the ball. He looks great every time he catches the ball. He makes Phillip Rivers look good. Devontae Adams is a great wide receiver on a struggling passing offense. And it's Aaron Rodgers. He should do amazing things. Now, will he ramp up since they are the number 1 seed in the North? Will he be playoff Aaron Rodgers? We have to see. Devontae Adams, though, did have that setback in the year that really hurt. She had to trade me for Diggs. Diggs overall, I think, pretty solid wide receiver 2. But it all really depends on the game plan for the Vikings. So, Mark Andrews. Surprise, surprise, right in your eyes. Mark Andrews is a great tight end. As long as Lamar Jackson is willing to throw to him. Odell Beckham Jr. is absolute trash this year. And Young Hui Koo kicked 2 onside kicks that scored everybody some points if they were playing the Atlanta defense. That is versus... So the score here is 122.9 for Bad Doctor, 127.4 for Duke, and he's throwing with Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara combo. Devonta Freeman is back from injury. Cooper Kupp could post you a 0. Devontae Parker could post you a 95 because Fitzmagic, Devontae Parker hookup. George Kittle is dope. Alshon Jeffrey is made of glass, and I don't know why anybody plays him, except for the fact that when he actually plays, if he stays healthy for an entire quarter, he can score you points because Carson Wentz is going to throw to him. But Bad Doctor's got Carson Wentz, So that'll be kind of one of those 6-1, half a dozen the others. You are playing the Redskins currently versus Green Bay. I'm not sure if that's the direction you're going to go this week, so I'm just going to ignore that. In the battle of the Bad Doctor versus Dude. I honestly, this is probably going to be the tightest one out of all of them. It's really, all your players have to show up. The floors are really low for Amber's quarterback and also for her wide receiver one, Devontae Adams. Floor is also really low for Alvin Kamara this year. Like, he could post you a 5 or less. So with those people in the one position, you never know. Also, Devonta Freeman is tough. Let me click back into that. It's just tough to see. See, I think Wentz versus Giants is your winner there. Chris Carson, Alvin Kamara. San Francisco's kind of letting it go, so I'm going to wash that one. Austin Eckler versus Devonta Freeman. I got Eckler there. Cooper Kupp, Devonta Adams. I got Adams there. Devontae Parker Diggs. I got Parker there. I basically just agree with what ESPN says, except... I don't know. Ravens are just sneaky. They just beat San Francisco. They could definitely beat Buffalo. They've got a tough schedule. If they beat Buffalo, you're probably looking at Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens, honestly. Odell Beckham Jr. versus Alshon. I'll take Alshon. Panthers versus Redskins. I'm not even going to worry about your kicker. Shit, guys. I'm going to say, like, Doot. In a really frustrating, like, 0.5, 1 point, really tight game. Now, I say that, and it's going to be a complete blowout one way or the other, but I think it's going to be the closest game out of these games, and Dude's going to pull it off by just a little bit, and he's going to send himself to round 2. Touch the Fence versus the Novid Kid. Straight up the most surprising couple of teams to see in the playoffs, honestly. Last 2 times these teams met, Ryan destroyed Touch the Fence, and I'm looking at his team, and it's not great. Got to have Miles Sanders show up, and we don't know if he's going to continue to do that. John Brown is super consistent with 12 points, so let's count on 12 points from him. Tyreek Hill versus New England. Nope. Philip Lindsay. God, I just like watching Philip Lindsay have good weeks, so let's say yes to that. On the other side of the ball, Jameis Winston can throw 4 picks and still score 30 points. Todd Gurley is awful. Bo Scarborough is the 3rd string running back for Detroit. That's all I have to say about him. DJ Moore, awesome season. Jamison Crowder is on the Jets. Look, Sam Darnold, great last 4 weeks, shit the bed against the worst team in football. I don't know how you do that. So do you call it an outlier? I don't know. Robbie Anderson's getting a lot of the balls there. Travis Kelce trade. Our trade was a straight up wash, in my opinion. Like, I took Hunter Henry off your hands. You took Travis Kelce. I got Mark Ingram so that I could trade him for Russell Wilson. I still didn't go anywhere. You're in the playoffs. So it didn't really change our fates at all. I didn't improve. You didn't get worse. So there's no one. You're the winner, I think. You're the winner in that trade. Will Fuller for Touch the Fence. Yeah, so in this, I'm going to say, it says that it's 116.7, 117.8. I'm going to say Novid Kid wins this, and it's not actually as close as predicted. Depending on if the lineups change or whatever happens, I'm still going to say that, Novid scores in the 120s, and Touch the Fence gets around 100, and Novid Kid moves on. Easy peasy. Sorry, Touch the Fence. It's you won against Sad Dad to get in. Like, if Sad Dad would have won, like, Chubb would have been in. That's a strange occurrence. You know what I mean? Token minority versus Willis Dick. Probably the most anticipated of the matchups. We have Token Minority current lineup, and this is like day after Monday Night Football, 119.6 and 117.7. I know there's waivers to be had. A lot of people have money they can spend on their playoff teams. But this does also actually look like it's going to be close. This is probably, besides from I Have Utters Greg, all these teams are predicted to be like basically 120. So because of that, it ends up being really close. Jimmy G, not a great quarterback, but a quarterback all the same. Dalvin Cook could be injured. David Montgomery. Let's just go across. So Jimmy G versus Aaron Rodgers. I take Aaron Rodgers against Washington for sure. Dalvin Cook versus Detroit. Aaron Jones versus Washington. I'll actually take Aaron Jones. 1, because Dalvin Cook is hurt. 2, because divisional matchups are tough in the North. The North is a mean division. Like, mean. And then there's the Ravens. David Montgomery sucks. Kareem Hunt is good. So I take the cunt. DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas. You got to have Michael Thomas. DeAndre Hopkins is dope, but only when the team is doing dope things. And he does dope things and he catches dope balls. But Michael Thomas is a machine, straight up. Randall Cobb versus Robert Woods. Who knows? Oh, there's my cat. Randall Cobb versus Robert Woods. I have Robert Woods in a league, and he is so disappointing because when you need him, he's not there, and when you don't need him, he shows up. When you think you've got a sleeper pick for the week and you sit him because he sucks and Jared Goff sucks, they end up playing a matchup, Arizona Cardinals defense sucks. I get that. But they've played tasty matchups before, and it sucks. So because I don't trust Robert Woods or Randall Cobb, I am going to scratch that out completely. Jacob Hollister versus Jack Doyle. I'll take Hollister versus the Rams, actually. Tampa Bay shows up in weird ways. Melvin Gordon versus Jamal Williams. I'll take Melvin Gordon, even though I hate him. Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones almost equal touches. Throwing that out there. So if Dalvin Cook does play and is healthy, I'll take Dalvin Cook in this for sure. But if he's questionable all week and then plays, I don't know, because they'll just have Alexander Madison run all over the place. Eagles D versus the Giants. They should show up, even though they sucked against Miami. Broncos D versus Houston. I would change that. And then your kickers. So in this, Willis, I'm going to give it to you. If Dalvin Cook doesn't play especially, I'll give it to you. Denver's still good at defending the pass sometimes, which makes me happy sometimes. So we're going to have I Have Utters Greg and Doot. I Have Utters Greg versus Doot in round 2 versus Novid Kid versus Willis Dick in your mouth. And that's going to make everybody happy. In the consolation ladder, you have Hydra Chubb versus Cruz Light and NASCAR Boys. These guys maybe should have been in the playoffs and faced each other round 1, but whatevs. Projected total for Crazy right now is 94.5. In what should be a blowout of a game, you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, there's Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, on paper, Chubb should be in the playoffs, right? Just didn't happen. But just because no one ever had faith in me all year long, and it's just fun to root for Crazy in these, and because Crazy already won in previous matchups, I'm going to say Crazy wins this. Not because he has the better team, but because Hydra Chubb's team is going to shit the bed like so many of our teams have done this year. And it's just not going to happen. If it does, whatever. Because it's the consolation ladder and nobody cares. But I do like that it's Crazy versus Chubb because it's always Crazy versus Chubb in these situations. Me versus Sad Dad, I obviously win. I am pretty sure I am the worst team, but he is even worse than me. I actually have a pretty decent team on paper. So there. Those are my predictions for the week. Sorry, it's rushed. It's in the morning. I'm just trying to get some footage out there for you. And I'm going to make another quick video about off-season stuff and one bet that if you want to do it, we should do it. So that video also coming up separately. I'll make that one nice and short. But those are my predictions. I'm going to win. Crazy's going to win. Dude's going to win. Cal's going to win. Willis Dick's going to win. And Novid Kid is going to win. High score of the week this week. I think there is a good chance that I am the high score of the week this week. What do you think about that? I go in the consolation ladder and finally get one in your faces. I'm doing some pagan rituals. All right, get ready for them playoffs. Hit that waiver wire, spend that fab money. You don't have much left, I imagine. If you do, you're going to get who you need. Go out, spend it. Congratulations on those top 8 who made the playoffs, and Godspeed with you, because it's going to get dirty. It's going to get dirty now.